Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Dutch speaking, and I know it's been a minute since I've played or added anything constructive to this game whatsoever aside from recruit troops and sit on bird, but today I wanted to talk about the Grand Tourney, the brand new event in Goodgame Empire. And by brand new, I mean this video is technically like 2 weeks late because it came out a while ago. There is so much wordage here, so much. I mean, look at that. Do you really want me to read this line for line? Because I'm not going to. The key details you need to know are you have to be level 30, you have to be in the alliance before the event starts. If you leave while the event is going, you don't get your previous alliance rewards, nor do you get to join the event for a new alliance. On top of that, there's a bunch of quests. You click on a quest, each quest has something to do, a time limit, and an amount of points you get for the Grand Tournament if you complete it. As you can see here, we can take a look at some of these quests now. There's 25 total. When you click into a quest, you can also choose to either re-roll it, which means if you want a different quest here instead, it will put it on a 1-hour timer and then refresh it. Or you can accept the quest, which will use one of your quest tickets, which you have 10 of at the beginning of every Grand Tournament event, and then you can purchase an additional one for 7,500 rubies. These quests are very controversial in my opinion. We can see that we've got some for a lower amount of points, where it's super simple. Defeat 10 cultist towers. All you need is sands unlocked, and you can probably do this easily within an hour. Then you've got some others where it's buy 25,000 troops in the shop. I think you see where I'm going with this. So, as you can see, people who spend money to finish quests are going to be rewarded with way more points than all the free-to-play players. If I used 10 of my tickets to complete 10 different cultist tower points quests, I would only have 600 points total. Whereas if I spent money one time to buy 25,000 troops, that's just about as many points in one ticket in comparison to 10. That's what I'm trying to say, is that it's a crazy advantage. We can keep looking at these though. Defeat more cultist towers, spend relic splinters, tower, aquamarine, spend XP tokens, buy more stuff, defeat more stuff, obtain, spend, yap. You get the point by now, right? It doesn't take into account the events that are live. How cool would it be if this event took advantage of the many other things in this game that you could technically give people points for? Why isn't there an option for, collect 10,000 glory, or 10 million glory would be a better quest. I think 10,000 would be too easy. Like collect 10 million glory, collect X amount of samurai tokens, or medals, or con tablets, etc. Not to say that these are inherently terrible. I just think that they could have gone a lot further with this. I mean, obtain 50 wall spike traps. Why can't this be like any tool ever? Why can't there be a multitude of tools? It's asking because, there's so many tools in this game, might as well, right? I just think they could have done more, right? They could have done more with the quests available and made them a little bit more diverse rather than defeat this, donate this, or spend money. We can go back to the rules, and as you can assume, if you get points, you can become eligible for rewards, and the rewards are based on how your alliance does as a whole. Now, your alliance does compete against international alliances, so you're not just going up against whales in your server, you're going up against whales across the international game. Now, the rewards themselves, it's a lot like most of those other video games, where, you get points, you go into different divisions, and the divisions here are going to be copper, glass, bronze, silver, and gold. Now, these rewards are pretty obvious what they're going to be. It's just going to be a bunch of offerings given out kind of indiscriminately. It would be cool if they had it structured a little bit better, where you get better general offerings the further you go up. That way you can kind of get the weaker generals, for example, Tom and Alice. Why on earth do I care about Tom and Alice, and how else am I supposed to get Tom and Alice tokens and offerings if it's not getting put into events like this? And it should be in events like this, because those generals only have one of these abilities, right? They can only have one live, so they're pretty weak, right? So why isn't that like the copper reward instead of these ones that kind of don't even matter all that much? Just a thought. The best rewards are what we're going to focus on. The Exalted Red Grand Tournament Blade. Really cool looking sword in the stone decoration we got here, and what it is a 4,500 public order decoration that gives you the ability to have extra meat troops, not mead, meat. So you get the best troops in the game. You get 50 of each and 5% combat bonus to Courtyard. So that's going to be these troops if you're unaware. So you're going to get some of these dudes, I think. Yeah, probably one of these. Yeah, Flame, Breath, Berserker. You get the best troops in the game, pretty much. So that's why these rewards are like this. Now, when you go to a new level, you're going to also get these rewards at the end. You get all of the rewards within that division. And in each division, there's a bunch of subdivisions, but that doesn't matter. That literally just means internationally, they're cutting up all the people in each division and putting them into different groups. And those groups, at the very end of the event, the very end of 7 days, if they got a lot of points and are in the top amount, they move to a bigger division. If they didn't get a lot of points, they got beaten, they move down divisions, or they stay the same. I feel like I was a lot more excited at the idea of this event than what it ended up being. And also, it's still buggy. It's just not fleshed out. Flesh? I don't care. These 3 things all say the same thing. Small things like this shouldn't be slipping through the cracks. This doesn't have to be that intuitive of an event. It is, at the end of the day, as simple as you click on a quest, you do the quest in the amount of time it gives you, and you collect points. But the quests themselves are kind of boring and stale. They don't add any fun excitement to the game. And the rewards themselves, as well as this division stuff internationally, I just feel kind of boring. Now, there is one thing worth pointing out. Obviously, if you're free to play, you're going to want to accept the quests such as, defeating towers, collecting aquamarine, maybe recruiting troops if it's like a 1-day obtain this amount of troops type of thing. But if you are in this grand tournament around the time of like a gacha event, these are great ways to get offerings. So as I mentioned previously, some of these quests you can do are give a certain amount of offerings to a general. And you don't really get these special offerings outside of gacha events, right? So what I recommend you do is if you get these kind of special general offerings, save them until the grand tournament. That way you can donate them and it fulfills one of those kind of pay to win quests. Trust me. Because how else are you going to get those general offerings if not through a free gift in the shop or the gacha event? You're not going to without spending money. Let me know what you think about this event all in all, though. I'm really keen to see what you guys think about it. I might be being a little bit too negative. I just think that it doesn't really add anything that new to the game. The competition itself is just pay to win, and it could have been a little bit more innovative and exciting the way it was deployed. I also forgot to mention that they are going to be running this event for about once a month, if I remember correctly. So we'll see how this goes, and honestly, I hope they edit it going forward. I guess we'll have to wait and see if they take any of these recommendations, critiques, and ideas in mind. Looking forward to catching you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Peace.